What is up guys, my name is BobaTalks and welcome to a brand new Gotham Season 4 video, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the news of two new actors coming to Gotham, one who is a Fight Club owner and the other who is a friend to Bruce Wayne, as well as the news about Crystal Reed coming to Gotham as Falcone's daughter, Sofia Falcone. So be sure to stick around guys, as I'll be talking about all the juicy new details about what we have to look forward to coming up in Gotham Season 4. So if you watched my last video regarding the set photos breakdown, I went over this particular photo here where it looks like a fighting ring. I went as far as speculating that it would be a fight club of sorts due to the actors in this photo captioning the photo. The first rule of Fight Club is to not talk about Fight Club. And it so turns out I was right, because Gotham just cast Marina Benedict in a recurring role in a character named Cherry, or it could be Sherry, but I'm just going to say Cherry for this video. According to TV Line, Cherry is a Fight Club operator in the Narrows, the most dangerous part of the city. You may recognise Marina Benedict from Prison Break, among other shows. Her character Cherry's club is supposedly the seat of power in this lawless part of Gotham, and her character is sometimes an ally as well as a powerful adversary. Interestingly, Cherry is said to be both ally and adversary to Enigma, as well as the new version of Butch, Solomon Grundy, as well as other characters as they move through the Fight Club. Now if this is the case, it's going to be absolutely crazy to see Solomon Grundy in the Fight Club. I do wonder how they will both end up in the Fight Club though, but it might go a little something like this. What we do know about Edward Nygma and Butch in the new season is that the first person Butch, who I should now really address as Solomon Grundy, runs into is Nygma, and it turns out they're practically best friends from the moment they meet there on out. I'm thinking that as we still do not know how Nygma will get out of ice, it might be the case that however he does escape the Iceberg Lounge, from that moment on, Penguin will most likely be extremely furious that his once best friend turned nemesis is out on the streets, and Oswald will know that it's just a matter of time until Nygma will seek revenge on the Penguin. So in Oswald's newfound position of power in the criminal underworld, he sends out most of his forces after Nygma. So jump to Nygma now on the run, he bumps into Solomon Grundy, from which we have now already learned is Nygma is the first person who Solomon Grundy will ever run into. So since Grundy now follows Nygma around, with their relationship most likely being like Nygma the smart, intellectual, bossy type, and Grundy being the brute force zombified dummy, they end up in the Narrows to avoid Oswald and somehow come across a Fight Club. It's going to be interesting to see if they somehow get captured and entered into this Fight Club, since I can't imagine anyone being able to overpower Solomon Grundy. As for Nygma, I doubt that he would fare well in a Fight Club, so maybe Grundy fights on his behalf as he worms his way out of talking around Cherry. Until then though guys, this is just speculation. I would love to know your ideas and theories about this Fight Club and Cherry's character in the comment section down below. The next character who has just recently been announced alongside Cherry is Benjamin Stockham, who has been cast as Alex Winthrop, a friend to Bruce Wayne. The character of Alex will be introduced in the show as a bookish grandson of a museum curator whom Bruce comes into contact with when tracking a mysterious artifact. When dangerous forces target the artifact, the two go on the run, ultimately forcing Bruce to make a choice no one should ever have to make. Now this is very interesting, and this could be, and most likely is, Bruce stepping into the new version, or should I say more evolved version, of Bruce we'll be seeing this season. It's going to be very fascinating to find out as to why Bruce is tracking a mysterious artifact, and who exactly are these dangerous forces that are also after the artifact. It's going to be cool to see Bruce get a new friendship this season too, however I don't think that Alex will be in the season for a very long time. But what exactly is this choice that Bruce is forced to make while on the run from dangerous forces with Alex? I really hope it's got nothing to do with something as crazy as approaching Ra's al Ghul for the Lazarus Pit or something like that, because I'm really not sure how I feel about Barbara being trained by Ra's al Ghul, let alone what happened last season. I certainly didn't like what happened with Alfred and Bruce and the Lazarus Pit towards the end of last season, and I can imagine that this decision that no one should ever have to make would be something along the lines of having to decide whether he should go to Ra's to use the Lazarus Pit waters on Alex, who might be critically injured while on the run from these dangerous forces. But that is some serious crazy speculation now. I'm not really being too serious with that, but I just hope Gotham doesn't continue to do things as crazy as that. So why do you think Bruce could be tracking a mysterious artifact, and what decision will he have to make that no one should ever have to do? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And finally guys, we learn that Teen Wolf star Crystal Reed is coming to Gotham City as Falcone's daughter, Sofia Falcone. We also have our first look at her with her father and Jim. In a talk with Entertainment Weekly, executive producer John Stevens talks about Jim and his connection to Falcone's daughter. We're going to see Jim make, in some ways, big steps towards, I guess, what you would call the commissionership. But we're also going to see Jim in his quest to save the city, cross different ethical lines than he ever did before. It's going to bring him to an ethical nadir that we haven't seen him at, and it's going to be told through the context of a relationship that he has with Sofia Falcone, the daughter of Don Falcone, who's played by Crystal Reed this year, and that's going to be a really compelling, interesting relationship. Since we have already learned that the first half of Gotham Season 4 will be themed around the story of the Long Halloween, while not a literal copy, I think that there will be some features that pop up, and it could be about how Jim even meets Sofia in the first place, since Sofia Falcone has a part to play in the Long Halloween storyline. In the Long Halloween storyline, the killer known as Holiday began murdering members of Gotham's most powerful crime lords on holidays, and the Falcones became one of Holiday's major targets. Now, even though I do not think that the story is going to be translated across to the TV show at all in the way like it is in the comic book, I think that they're putting parts of who is involved in the story of the comic book and the villains and weave them all together in the TV show. I also believe that unlike Mario before he was infected with the virus, Sofia will be more like her father than he was. It was described that she is strong, intelligent and calculating, and is returning to Gotham to plot some schemy things, and has a lot of confusing character traits. This could explain how with Jim's dark path this season, with him crossing more ethical lines than he ever has before in his quest to save the city, and how it's going to be told through the context of a relationship he has with Sofia, I think she is going to have a few strings that she can pull in the city that Gordon will let be pulled in order to take down the Penguin, in addition to this new romance he has with her, despite Lee also returning this season. But let me know what you think of Crystal Reed coming to Gotham City as Sofia Falcone, and what do you think she'll bring to the table with helping Jim taking down the all-new, once again powerful Penguin. Some people have also asked me about Selina and her direction for Season 4, so recently Cameron had this to say about her role, which has to do with not only Bruce but how she will be involved with Barbara and Tabitha next season. Selina has this drive, not for power but for respect. After a fight with Bruce in the hospital, after she tried to show him that she cared, she realised that he did have a point. Just as he realises that she had a point, that he doesn't know who he is. She realises that she's been surviving her whole life and she hasn't really worked to be comfortable, and she wants to be comfortable. And she realises Tabitha is the only person who will help her do that, since Barbara's not around when she goes to look for Barbara. Now, I personally think that the power trio is going to be very interesting next season, especially when we first see Barbara meeting Tabitha again. It's even really hard to imagine them both coming together again, especially after what happened at the end of last season. But if they can become somewhat allies once again through Selina, then it's going to be so cool to see this mini Sirens get together. What I'm most excited about through this power trio though is seeing Selina develop more into her future Catwoman character. Being tutored by Tabitha, I can't really imagine her taking many pointers from Barbara though. However, as Barbara will be trained by Ra's al Ghul next season, maybe there are some tips that Selina can get from Barbara after all, keeping in mind that Selina did go looking for Barbara first over Tabitha. I also trust that we're going to see Selina use her whip a lot more. That's the main pointer she's probably going to get from Tabitha, in addition to hand-to-hand combat training. Just like we saw in the Gotham Season 4 trailer, she did all her own stunts then. She was whipping around with her legs, proper future Catwoman style. I absolutely love it when a TV show does basically Arkham gameplay, you know, the Arkham Knight games, or the, you know, the Batman Arkham games. Selina was just kind of like Catwoman there when you play her in the video game, jumping from head to head, whipping them with her foot upside down on a handstand. It's really incredible, and I can't wait for all of this to unfold next season. But other than that, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, as it really does help me and the channel out. And maybe even subscribe if you're brand new to this channel to never miss out on a future Gotham video. Now, if you are already subscribed and you don't want to miss out on any future videos, be sure to hit that bell button just to make sure that you're alerted every single time a new Gotham video comes out. And finally, if you want to stay a little bit more up to date with me personally, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, any of the social medias. The links will be popping up over here or in the description below. But apart from that, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.